Welcome to the first instalment of the Transatlantic Housewives. It's a bit of a laugh really, but welcome to our autumn drink special. I'm just going to have to move this a little bit. I'm not very good at this. Well, let me tell you a bit about us. There's 4 of us at the moment, but we are hoping that Jane from Just Janie will join us on our next one. There's Elayne from Silvermoonlight, I'm sure most of you. This is Elayne, isn't she lovely? She's showing one of her beautiful handbags. I'll follow her channel. Elayne's got a lifestyle channel and she does like absolutely amazing, she does amazing try-on hauls, filming. She's obviously got, I think probably her daughter films her, but it's stunning what she does. And then there's the second one is Penny from Being Penny B. And this is Penny with a beautiful blonde hair. She's got a similar channel to Elayne, well, to all of us really, and she's got a lifestyle channel. She's a lovely lady. I'm sure you probably all subscribe to her, but if you don't, please do. Please pop across to her channel and have a look, because we're all doing this. We're all uploading at 7 o'clock on Monday, which is tomorrow. I'm filming this on Sunday before I go out for my birthday tea. And then the fourth one who's instigated it all and is the brainwave behind us all is Maree from UK Gurl. And this is Maree from UK Gurl, the brains behind the housewives. That's UK Gurl, Gurl. She's similarly got a lifestyle channel, but she does lots and lots of makeovers on charity shop finds. She's got a really good channel, you know, and she's very good at filming. So I'd really go and have a look at her channel. So anyway, we thought we'd set ourselves this challenge and we're going to make an autumn drink, all of us. And then we've put some questions together and we're going to pull them out and I'll answer them as best we can. I haven't thought of any answers yet. Well, perhaps just one, but not a lot. So first of all, we're going to make an autumn cocktail. Now, I've got a bit of a dilemma with mine because I Googled like autumn cocktails and I think it was on the BBC website. I found this autumn mojito and I thought, oh, that sounds good. So I'd got some dark rum because you have dark rum in it. And I thought, well, I'll buy all the other things for it, which I've done, I think. And blow me, I can't find the recipe again. So it's going to be a little bit of a makeup as we go along, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So I've got my glass. I've borrowed this cocktail shaker from my daughter, this cocktail thing. So we'll just start with it. Now, what you did was I know you started with, I don't know whether you put the alcohol in first, do you? Anybody know? So anyway, it should be all right. So, of course, I can't remember the measurements, so I'm just going to have to guesstimate. So a bit of rum. And then, I don't know if you can all see, I'll pull it over here so you can see. There was rum, there was apple juice. Now, don't laugh at my apple juice because it looks a bit like one of those specimens you take to the doctor, doesn't it? But I assure you it's apple juice. I'm not really sure how much apple juice you put in. Then you put ginger beer in. Oh, and then a cinnamon stick. Some ginger beer. I hope this ginger beer is all right because it said fiery ginger beer. I hope it's not too fiery. Look, can you see? Fiery ginger beer. And I'm not really sure on the measurements, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I put the rum in, didn't I? I wonder if I should put, oh no, I think it smells like it's got enough in. Then you put a bit of mint in, and I know you put mint on to dress it. And maybe I should have put the ice in first. Should I have put the ice in first? Does anybody know? What have I done with the ice? Oh, here's the ice. And then a little bit of lime. So I'll just squeeze my lime in. I suppose that's the mojito bit. Sorry, it's a bit difficult trying to show you this. So I've got some lime. I don't know what you're supposed to, is it that you're supposed oh, this is, my daughter said, I said, what's this? She said it's a plunger, so you plunge it all together with that. So I'll just squeeze some lime in because I can't remember what you're supposed to do. There we are. And then I think you plunge that up and down with that. She said it was like a plunger. And then you put the top on. Now I do know this because I have worked on a bar for years ago. When my children were growing up, I worked at a local hotel bar, and you're supposed to shake it. Oh, sorry about that. I went through the tops come off. Oh dear, I'm sorry about this disaster. Oh, do you know I'm going out for dinner? I'll smell of rum. They'll all think I'm an alcoholic. Oh, sorry about that. Now, you know, I said I knew about this. Maybe I should do it. You're supposed to shake it until your fingers fit the side. And a word of warning, hold the lid on. So I think that'll be enough because it's all coming out. So, I smell of rum. I've got rum everywhere in the kitchen. It's a good job I didn't put any more rum in. I was going to, you know. So, oh, maybe that's what you use that for, dear. Do you put it over your glass and do it in? So, you can't see, can you? There you are. I'll put a little bit more mint in. And a little slice of lime. It's a very peculiar cocktail, this. This was very good since I haven't had a recipe, but I haven't tasted it yet. I'm a bit wet. I don't think I have time to get changed. I won't be able to do the video. Right. Here's a cocktail. Let me taste it. Do you know, it tastes really nice. I can recommend it. I'll put the recipe in, but it's not the proper recipe. It's one I've made up along the way. Oh, it's lovely. It's really nice. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. It is really nice. I'll have to make more of these. Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, I didn't put a lot of alcohol in. Do you like my glasses? I got them from TK Maxx a couple of years ago. Aren't they nice? I'm getting a hit of the ginger beer at the moment. And we've got a little bit more left in there. So, that's the first part. So we've got our autumn drinks. I hope you've all made a drink or got yourself a drink, because we're going to continue now to the questions. We've all written a lot of questions and put them in a jar, and we're going to answer them. I don't know whether I've got enough light on me. Anyway, here goes. I'll just have another slurp. Oh, does anybody remember the Galloping Gourmet? Probably before a lot of years' time, but he used to be a chef and he used to cook, and he always used to have a slurp of red wine. Right, so here is the jar with the questions in. May have to put my glasses on now. Right, first question. Oh God, this is this is the one that I wrote, and this is the one that's probably going to be in my heading. And this is just a coincidence that I've pulled it out. My dream YouTube collaboration. My dream YouTube collaboration, and he's probably also one of my secret crushes, even though I'm an old lady, is Mr Carrington. I don't know if anybody watches Mr Carrington. He's absolutely brilliant. He's got sort of a lifestyle channel. He does lots of makeovers, and he's really, really good. And he often collabs with another guy who's really, really good as well, called Luke Hatlow. You want to look at their channels, they're brilliant. I'll put them in the description box. I've followed them both for years and years, and I mean, they're really good YouTubers. They're not like us Not like our transatlantic housewife. But if you're watching, Mr. C and Luke, we'd love you to do a collab with us because we all love you. Because it was funny really when we were talking about it, about our dream YouTube collaboration, we all came up with Mr. Carrington. But he's quite famous now because he got a TV programme. He went on that Steph's Packed Lunch. He's very good at filming and everything. I'm not sure if he doesn't do that professionally. And then I think he went out to America and did a series over there. So my dream YouTube collaboration would be Mr. Carrington. And if Luke Catlow would like to join as well, that would be really good. Us four housewives would eat them alive, wouldn't they? We'd eat them both alive, wouldn't we? But they are brilliant. They're both brilliant channels, so you must watch them, you know. So anyway, I digress. Right, what's the next one? Oh, funniest drunk incident. Oh dear. Well, I'll tell you a funny drunk incident. My daughter got married about 4 years ago and moved into a new house. And it was a brand new house. And of course they hadn't, you know, when you, well, if anybody who's had a new house, after a month or two, they come round and see if there's anything, you know, any cracks or anything that need doing. Anyway, this particular night, I think my daughter's husband was away. So she said, oh, do you want to go out to, there's like a tapas bar not far from where we live. So we went to this tapas bar and it was an all-you-can-drink Prosecco night for 2 hours. Talking about drink, I'll just have another slurp. So this all-you-can-drink tapas place, it was really good, but they did keep coming round filling up your glasses with Prosecco. So we had lots and lots of Prosecco to drink. And then we sat in there, it's only a very small place, and my nephew walked in with a lady friend. I think he probably was a bit, probably not very pleased to see his auntie and his cousin there, you know. And he sort of said hello and went to sat at another table. But then later on, they came and sat with us and they kept ordering cocktails. Well, I love a porn star martini or whatever you want to call it. I think there is a nicer name for it, passion fruit martini, but anyway, he ordered those, so I thought, well, I've got to buy some more, you know, because they've bought around. So anyway, we ended up drinking quite a bit. Anyway, they came back with us to my daughter's house, and they opened some Prosecco, but I said, I've had enough, and I went to bed. So I was asleep, and honestly, I can't remember anything. Anyway, the next morning, my daughter walked in the bedroom, and she went, she's got one of those big leaning mirrors. Who's moved that mirror? And I went, well, I don't know. She thought her husband had moved it, but he hadn't moved it. So she said, well, I said, I've no idea. And then she looked at me and she said, Mum, what have you done? And apparently I split my head open and there was all blood. My hair was matted to my head. I mean, she wanted to take me to A&E, but I wouldn't go because your head does bleed a lot, doesn't it? Another one of these drinks. So anyway, she looked and she went, oh my God, what's happened to my wall? And what I must have done was fallen out of bed, banged my head against a chest of drawers, which I think they're on casters, and that knocked it into the wall, and there was a big dent in the wall. So I felt awful. So she kept saying, no, it's all right, because she was worried about my head. Anyway, later that week, the site foreman came round to inspect the house, and when he went in the bedroom, he said, oh, what's that dent in the wall? And Hayley said, oh, I don't know. He said, oh, come on. He said, I'm going to fix it for you, but tell me the truth. So she said, well, my mum got drunk and she fell out of bed and she knocked the cabinet into the wall. So it was so embarrassing. Every time I went to the building site, they all kept shouting out, don't drink so much tonight. And then a few weeks after we went to see Take That, I went to the Take That concert with Hayley and a friend, and as we were walking away from Hayley's house, they were shouting out, don't let your mum have a drink. So that was really one of the funniest or the most embarrassing incidents. So that's question 2. I don't know whether I'll get through all these questions. it's all wet on here where I spilled the thing. What's this one? What is your favourite smell? Well, my favourite smell, apart from Dior Essence, which I do love, but my favourite smell is new cut grass. I absolutely love the smell of new cut grass. So that's my favourite smell. So that was a quick question. Oh, the worst holiday. I'm not one that has bad holidays because I always like to think that you've got to make the most of it. But we did go on holiday. What happened was my husband used to work at ICI years ago, and every year they used to get shares. Well, when we got our shares, in those days, he didn't pay by direct debit. So every year when we got our shares, we paid our rates and then we book a last minute holiday. Often we didn't know where we were going because I don't think you can still do that. But anyway, we booked this holiday. We knew we were going to Tenerife, not a clue where we were staying. Anyway, we got, I can't think what it was called now in Tenerife. It's fairly near, I can't think what it was called, but Lost something or other. They're all lost, aren't they? But anyway, where we went, Las Cristianas, that was it. Well, this accommodation was terrible. They dropped us off and it looked all right. You know, it was like a big complex. But the apartments were set into the hillside. Oh, and it smelled so damp. I mean, nowadays I'd probably go and complain, but, you know, when you're young and that, you don't think. It smelled so damp. It was horrible. And every night there was just my husband, myself and my daughter, because my son's quite a bit older. And every day when we went back to it was full of cockroaches. It was horrible. And we had to keep the lights on all night because if you went out when you came back and turned the lights on, you'd see them all scurrying away. It was awful. My daughter ended up sleeping in with me. She wouldn't sleep on her own because of these cockroaches. I mean, why we didn't complain, I don't know. We should have done, but it was horrible. So that was one. And so much so that my daughter won't ever go to Tenerife. She always says, oh, I hate Tenerife. But I mean, it's quite a nice place, really. It was just that incident, really. So, oh, do you know, I really like this drink. You must make it. I'll try and work out what I did. Right. Might be a long video, this. Which famous person would you love to be friends with? Well, I'd love to be friends with Rylan Clark. I think he's lovely. I absolutely love him and I would love to be friends. I think he'd be a really good friend. He's a really nice person. He seems to be. And I just think he's really, really good. And he could probably recommend a good dentist for me. But I would love to be friends with Rylan. There's lots of other people, Cat Stevens especially, but I would like to be friends with Rylan and Mr Carrington and Luke Catlow. Right, the next question. Oh, I don't really like this. Best party I've ever hosted. Well, I've hosted lots of parties because, you know, we were party people growing up. All my family will say we always had parties at our house. And my brother's the same. Him and his wife always have lots of parties. I don't so much now. I think we've moved on to another generation having them. But we always used to have a really good New Year party. And I used to love doing fancy dress parties. And the first fancy dress party we had was for my 40th birthday. And my husband kept saying, it's stupid. We're not having a fancy dress party. I was a bit slimmer then. Anyway, he didn't want one, but we got one. And we ended up, I was Robin and he was Batman. A bit like Only Fools and Horses, really. But he really got thrown into it. And when he'd had a few drinks, he was riding around the garden in his Batman outfit on my little girl's tricycle going, na 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 Batman. So that was a good party, but we've had lots of good parties. So that was a good one. Right, see how many more we've got. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to do all of them. How many famous people have I met? Well, I've met Matt Goss, Maree loves Matt Goss, but she's met him as well. I've met the Queen. I was very lucky enough actually to get invited to the Queen's Garden Party a few years ago through my work. And so I've met the Queen, so I would say she was the most famous person I've met. And we also met the Duke of Kent. We were introduced to the Duke of Kent. So that's my claim to fame. You know, I haven't really met a lot of other ones. When we were in Vegas, I did meet a famous fighter because I tripped up and fell into him and his bodyguards rushed, you know. But I don't really know who he was. My son-in-law knew who he was when we came back, so we ended up having a photo taken with him. So I've no idea who he was, but it was some famous boxer. So if I can find the photo, I'll put it on at the end. I probably can't. Right, another one. Who's my secret crush? Apart from Mr C, the two Mr Cs. Well, I love Harrison Ford. I think it was a bodyguard that did it for me. I loved him in that film. And I love Idris Elba. So two there. I absolutely love The Bodyguard, the film. I thought that strong, silent type of man did it for me in those days. Anyway, so that's my secret crushes. I'm speeding these up now. Well, there aren't with as many funny stories to tell. A funny tale from a holiday. Oh, I could tell you loads. I've probably told you loads on my channel. I think I told you about when I was with Sandy and we're in Victoria's Secret, and I've told you that one. So another time we went on holiday, it was the end of our holiday and we'd not got much money. It was me and Sandy, and we wanted to go and see the Jersey Boys, but we didn't have a lot of money and the ticket's really expensive. And we were chatting to a lady at a bus stop. Now, B1 never do this. And she said that they'd been to a timeshare presentation. Just let me move this in a bit, because it's a bit... They'd been to a timeshare presentation and they got free Jersey Boys tickets. Well, we'd only got like a couple of days to go. So, and you're always getting stopped in Las Vegas for timeshare. So we thought, well, we'll go. And they said, oh, you get a free breakfast. And all we want to do is show people this resort. We're not trying to sell the resort at all. We just want people to see it because it's at the other end of the strip. So anyway, we went. We got there. Well, I'm not joking. I mean, we got chatting with everybody on the bus and we're all saying, oh, we're not buying one, we're not buying one. But the breakfast, you've never heard, it was the most disgusting cup of coffee in a polystyrene cup, which I hate, and some sort of bun. So anyway, we had this, and then they came on to do this presentation. Well, this guy was like Fred Flintstone that was giving about this resort. Well, the resort wasn't even nice, you know, we didn't even like it. It reminded me a bit of Pontins when I used to take the kids when they were younger. Obviously, the apartments were nicer, but the rest of it wasn't really that nice. Anyway, we got this lady attached to us who was very high pressure sales. And it was so obvious she had a wig on, because Sandy said to her, oh, I love your hair. Well, I nearly died, you know, I nearly died when she said that, because her hair was so obvious a wig. Anyway, that's a message I've just got from Penny saying she's filmed hers. So anyway, I thought, oh, we're never going to get away from this one. Well, we couldn't get away from her. Everybody else had left. She was banging a pencil down on this pad saying, you'd love it here. Why, what, you know, what do you like? She kept saying, do you like dancing? And we'd say, yes. She'd say, well, you can dance here and you can do this here. And it went on for ages. We just couldn't get away. Anyway, in the end, Sandy started crying. And she looked at Sandy and she said, what's the matter? She said, oh, my husband left me for a 16-year-old just before we came on holiday and I've got no money. And she said, I looked at Sandy, I thought, she looked really genuine. And then she said, well, all the more reason to buy one of these apartments, she said, because you'll have an income. Well, we couldn't get away. It was awful. We had to ask for the manager. And then we did eventually get away, but they were quite nasty with us. But at the end of the day, we got our Jersey Boys tickets. And it was quite funny, really, because we were meeting somebody that we'd met on Facebook. You know, we chatted with them for years on Facebook. We're meeting them at the Mirage Hotel after. And we bought lunch. and it was free wine with this lunch. It was like a buffet lunch. Well, we went for lunch and we were that fed up, we kept drinking this wine, and then we had to meet these people that we'd never met before. But it was fun. It was really fun. So that's our holiday story. Right, I'll see. I might only do 2 more because it's at 24 minutes, this video. What crazy adventure would I like to try? Well, to be truthful, I would like to go up in a hot air balloon. I don't know why. I'd probably be scared to death because I don't like heights, but I've just always fancied it. So I'd like to go in a hot air balloon. Perhaps not over Vegas. Worst hairdo. Oh, I was glad this one's come out, because the worst hairdo I had, I was only looking last night and I found a bit of film footage, and I'll see if I can include it. But it's terrible footage because it was taken 25 years ago when Sandy and I were in Vegas, and I had a curly perm, you know, a 1970s curly perm. So you must watch that. And what it was, we went to Disney, to Pleasure Island, and there was this, you could go, I mean, nowadays it doesn't seem much, but in those days you couldn't film things like you can now. And we went in, oh, do you know, I'm going to have to finish this. My daughter's coming in 5 minutes for me. So this is going to be my last question. So we went in and it was like, you could film like a pop video. And we went in and we were going to do, I've forgotten what song we said, but when we got in there, Sandy changed the song to Baby Love, and I didn't know the words. Anyway, we sang this Baby Love. And I'll try and put some footage in. I don't know how I'll do it, but because it's on a really old video, but if I can, I will. Anyway, I think I've had to go now because my daughter's coming for me in 5 minutes. I didn't realise I'd been on here nearly half an hour. So those are my questions. The other girls will ask similar questions and perhaps a few more. But anyway, please go over to their channel. As I tell you, it's UK Gurl, Gurl, Simply Penny B, Silvermoonlight and myself. So I hope you've enjoyed our session, our little autumn's drink session. It's the first one. We're hoping to do a series of these sort of things. And Mr Carrington, if you're watching, please do a collab with us. Bye.